What is up, Epic Army? It is Epic Tetsu, and today I tried the Valkyrie Elysium demo, and I decided to do a review on it. I did download it and play it on PS5, and you can download it for PS4 or PS5 as well, and check it out for yourself. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Alright, so this is the end of the tutorial part. I'll let you watch this real quick. So this looked pretty good to me. Definitely reminiscent of some like older God of War games back on like PS3, PS4 kind of. And then we get into the battle, and you know they definitely spent a little more resources on the little CG scene, so I can always appreciate that. The background here for this little arena looks good. I don't know if it's just because like as we move on, even though I'm an older gamer, I move on too, and I kind of pick up with the time. Just love playing old games, but when we buy these systems for so much money and all these other stuff, we want to see something worthy of the system, as well. Especially when a new game comes out that was an old fan favorite or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, if I could zoom in on him from here, and like see him, I'm sure he would look amazing. But the distance and the relativity of like my camera to my character to the character to the enemy, and then that distance, like you can still see it and it looks good and everything. But I don't know. Like we've been playing games like Elden Ring and all these other games, and we shouldn't really, I guess, compare all these games really, in a sense. But when you play something really awesome and really amazing, and it looks good, and the combat's fluid and everything else, you start to expect more out of the games you're going to play as a consumer, because you're a customer and you're shelling out the money for this stuff, especially nowadays. So you want something that's going to be highly enjoyable, something you like. You're always going to find things to nitpick. But I will say this: this boss battle, I didn't think it was anything like crazy. It is just a tutorial. But it definitely felt like a boss battle, as far as like he was tanky and it took a while to deplete his health bar. So yeah, the hit counter thing is cool, but I'm not really seeing that it's doing anything extra. I'd have to look into that to see if like you do more hits, if your damage is going up, or what's going on. I mean, I've seen the numbers go up, but I don't know if it's making a difference. Alrighty. So now that the tutorial boss battle is done, right after this is a CG cutscene, and I thought that we would take a look at that, so you can hear a little bit of the voice acting, and you can look at that, and you'll be able to see what you think. And like I said, this demo is available, so go download it, check it out, especially if you're interested.
Valkyrie, heed my words. Ragnarok tears our world asunder. All we hold precious lies on the brink of annihilation. The war on Asgard and Midgard snuffed out the life spark of many. And I am left, gravely injured from battle, with that wicked wolf. That is why I created you, my vassal of peace. I, Odin All-Father, command you. Become my tool of intervention, and save this world from doom.
As you command.
Travel to Midgard and purify its lost souls. Even as we speak, the stagnating souls multiply. Purification will stem the effects of Ragnarok.
It shall be done as you wish, All-Father.
So I thought the voice acting was really good. I enjoyed it, and the accents and everything, and it seemed like it was well done. When you look around in this place, you start to see, like, the game doesn't just like, oh, this is the same look everywhere. Like, this place looks awesome. Look at that Wonder Ball spinning there, whatever that is, some world teleportation thing. So, you have a map, so I wanted to show you that, you know, in case you don't try the demo and you're just, like, watching my review of the demo. So you do have a map, although it was really weird because, you know, like, the controls are inverted for some reason. So, like, the whole time you're playing the game, everything was fine. I probably need to go in my options menu and check. I don't know why it would even be like that, but... So, when I went in here, yeah, my left was right, right was left, all that's inverted. But it's no big deal. So, you got your basic stuff in here. You know, items, equipment, collection, all that. You got a bestiary. And the artwork looks great. You know, I'm always a fan of this stuff, especially if you ever checked out my other stuff where I play, like, gacha games and pixel stuff and all that. And... I always appreciate that they put these things in game, especially like the timer. So, like, these little details, absolutely love those. Okay, so... yeah, that's pretty cool. You gotta admit. I decided to venture out just a little bit, because I was like, well, what's the rest of this demo look like, you know? Is it all looking the same, or is there some different stuff? So we're just going to touch a little bit on a few things, and then that'll be it for my review. So... this was really weird, and so I spent a little time messing with this. At first, I was just kind of like looking around. I remember how I mentioned earlier you couldn't double jump. Did you see that? So there was some like weird little thing happening. I was like, what just happened? And then I did it like again, but it's not a double jump. She's doing like a, you see her basic jump is just up and down. And then all of a sudden she was doing this like frontal forward, you know, front flip with like a kick or something, and I was like, how am I doing this? And I could not get it to happen again. And so, yeah, I finally gave up on that. But that would be interesting. I would like to actually have that as, like I said earlier, where you could jump, and then you could do that, but it would do that. So, like, your double jump would be that. Or also the air dash thing. So that would be great. So, the view from here looks really good. And, you know, the greeneries, all that stuff. This was a bit disappointing, but kind of funny. So I was like, you know what, let's go for it. Okay, so... you can watch this if you like, or just listen, or you may have already left. But these are my final thoughts for the demo, of course. And I keep saying the demo because I want people to understand that I am judging the demo. I am not judging the game. But the game is coming out very, very, very soon, like within 2 weeks. If that, yeah, roughly 2 weeks. So it's pretty much, that's how things will be. And anything is always subject to getting an update or whatever. They could implement something if people wanted it, probably. But with that said, there's a lot of cool things about, you know, Valkyrie Elysium. Especially if you're a fan of, you know, the original games from way back and all that kind of stuff. So the final thoughts to me are, it looks decent. It looks like they did a good job doing what they wanted to do for the game. There was nothing to me that went overboard. It was like, hey, we only have this many resources to do this project that we all wanted to do, or whatever the case. Square Enix has tons of all kinds of cool games. Final Fantasy is getting a lot of the resources, this, that, whatever. So maybe they cut some corners here, or they just wanted it to look a certain way and feel a certain way for nostalgic purposes. With that said, I do like the combat. At first, I wasn't sure, and then as I kept playing, I started integrating my soul chain into how I would do my combos and attacks, and that made the combat even faster and more fluid. And as you can see, I juggle between two opponents, and I'm like, I'm kicking this dude's butt, then I'm like, hey, this dude's moving, so I go over there and start kicking his butt. So soul chain is going to increase the way you play the game as far as combat goes, and I think if you incorporate it into your combat, you're going to like the combat even more. So the combat is actually enjoyable. They have treasure chests, materials, basic stuff that people like. Who doesn't like to open a treasure chest? You're like, what's inside? As soon as you see it, right? So, basic stuff like that. There are times where the game does shine and looks really good. I am playing on PS5. It looks really good. And there's other times where I'm like, but it also has the feel of like it's supposed to feel. It's supposed to feel dingy. It's supposed to feel like a dungeon. I think some of the issues we have as gamers is once we play something awesome, like say Elden Ring and the way it looks and everything, then we want to expect that in the next thing. We're like, oh, why does this look this way? But I'm actually okay with that. Even though I move on as a gamer and stay up to date with the times and stuff, I still am okay with graphics and stuff like this. I'm playing on normal, so at this point I can already tell I'd probably like to play on hard, which I may try in the demo later and see how that goes. But I just didn't feel like it was like all that. But this is like barely at the beginning of the game. It's the demo or whatever, so maybe things get harder as you go on. So with that said, combat's a big deal. I would totally like to buy this game just down the road, not right now. So combat, graphics to a point. There's move sets that you can learn. When you level up, you can, at the end of this video, see you can enhance your sword equipment, basically, and stuff. So I'm always a fan of that kind of stuff. The voice acting I thought was good. I thought the CG scenes looked good. My biggest concern, though, is like, will this game deliver? I love buying a game and playing it, and I love buying a game and playing it, and then playing it again. Or, it's like 6 months down the road or a year down the road, and you're like, man, I'm going to play that again. Because you enjoy the game, you enjoy the story, you love the combat. I just don't know if this is one of those games, and the more you play it, the better it gets, or if it's one of those games, it's like, hey, one time and I'm done. So, for me, my final thought is, I like the game. I would actually like to purchase this game, but for me, for $60, I'd rather get Star Ocean next month and go with that. I hope you enjoyed the demo review. I hope that if you do buy this game, you have a ton of fun. I'm sure it's great. And if you do, and you happen to see this demo review, and after you buy the game and you've played it for a while, let me know what you think. Come back and be like, hey, guess what, Epic Tetsu? This game is awesome, blah, blah, blah. And tell me why. Because I'm really looking forward to playing this game someday, just not right now. You guys take care until the next video, and we'll see you in there.
Be the first to strike.